Good Monday. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafreedom Brew. Well, there's an article here in the Financial Times that when I saw this, I said, hallelujah, because U.S. poised to become world's leading liquid petroleum producer. Something just incredible. Why this news hadn't hit every news agency and every newspaper, every website in our country of saying, hey, we're making it in here in terms of becoming energy independent. For those of you who've watched the webcast that Dr. Ed Seafried and I 3 years ago were pressing the whole thing on energy independence, and we haven't let up in here in terms of saying that this is America's future. In the past couple of webcasts, we've been talking about the dreary level of GDP that the Fed is predicting into the future, being 2 to 2.3%. Well, Dr. Ed feels that if we would become energy independent, that essentially we'd be in a position where our GDP would be in excess of 5%. And we'd be back in the game in terms of being an energetic economy instead of the economy that we have currently. But let's look at this article and sit there and say that we finally met up with Saudi Arabia in terms of production. And that's been a growing thing over these past couple of years in terms of a trend that now we're up there with the largest producer. If we then add into it our incredible natural gas reserves, that suddenly we'd be looking at being a country that has the most energy in the world. And that means great independence and great financial stability for us going forward. But one thing that this article points out, it's not only financial stability, but what it's doing is it's producing global stability. So that when you sit there and you talk about the Ukraine, Russia, you talk about all the things happening in the Middle East, that over this time period we haven't had the oil swings like we've had in the past. In fact, if you look at trend in oil prices, that as our oil production is headed up, is that essentially since 2012, is that we moved down from $125 a barrel for oil down to currently $95.60 per barrel in terms of cost. And that's because of our production coming onto line, making not only prices of oil decline, but at the same time creating a stability in overall oil prices that shouldn't be like going back in the past where we've had huge fluctuations depending what happens in the global scene. So that stability has also helped to lead us towards energy independence. So let's look back to 2005. We were importing 60% of our energy in 2005. Now that has dropped in terms to today at 21%. And that is something that we all need to celebrate, we need to support, we need to move forward to get that down to zero. So please read this article. Please follow this. Give your support to energy independence. This is Jay Brew, co-chairman of Seafreedom Brew. Have a great week.